Okay, right now we are in front of the New York Public Library. This is Priscilla from the Real Progressives. It's very loud, so I'm really hoping you guys can hear me. It's a frigid 29 degrees right now in New York City, and the turnout is insane. After, we're going to have a couple of speakers here, and after that we're actually going to march up to the Trump Tower to join in with the other protesters. So now I'm going to turn the camera over so you guys can see exactly what's going on. People are still coming in, so we're waiting, and around 2 o'clock is when everyone's about to march to the Trump Tower. And we will be speaking to Heather, who's actually one of the organizers of this, well, the main organizer, who is a teenager from Long Island, which is very awesome. So just to give you an idea of right now what's going on. There's lots of media here, and this actually gained traction. This has actually been on Fox News and other local networks as well.
First one is 20, this is 30.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like way back in like elementary school. Yeah. This is like 6 or 7.
There we go. We see the hats.
Buttons and posters.
Right now, here are some buttons. There are some amazing buttons out here right now.
Do you mind if I take a picture of your poster?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I can't even see.
Do you need me to move?
I'm sorry?
Need to get off the sun?
Oh, no, you're fine. I just want to see where I'm at. How are you doing? Alright, you got it. Thank you.
Yeah, right now I actually have a sign on my back regarding Standing Rock.
Protect our mother.
So we have to get. Baby's right there. Hi guys, how are you? Hi Allison. Hi Maya. Hi honey. How are you feeling? I'm hurting. I'm in a wheelchair. Oh, baby's right over there.
Hello? Okay. Before I say anything else, I would just like to acknowledge that we are on Lenape land. This land that you're standing on, the island of Manhattan, was stolen from the indigenous people of this land. And before we start this, I'm going to start with a prayer. So everybody put down your cameras and bow your heads. Keep us going in a good way. So we are here for the indigenous people, not only the struggles here that are in North America, but struggles that are experienced all over the world by all indigenous people that experience oppression no matter what. Keep them in your mind, keep them in your thoughts. Okay. So everybody here, you obviously know about the Dakota Access Pipeline. And all of you, I'm not saying all of you, but a lot of people like to say this is Trump's problem. But this has been a problem for not only indigenous people of North America, but indigenous people all over the world have been experiencing all types of oppression when it comes to everything. And everybody has been conditioned to not regard indigenous lives. We have been conditioned to not think that indigenous people are still here in this land. But we are here. My family is here to tell you that we are still here and we are still fighting for the people who are experiencing oppression. And no matter who you are, where you are, what you want to say, speak up, because we need voices to talk about what is happening. You have a power no matter what. And you will experience oppression because you want to defend your rights. But you know what? Today is a good day to die, and if I have to die for the rights of my people, then I will do so willingly. And I implore you to do the same thing. Please, we all need help no matter what. And if you are here, if you are down for indigenous and land sovereignty, you are down for Black Lives Matter. You are down for Palestinian liberation. You are here to go against the system. Fuck the police. You are here to go against the system that was not created to uphold the people who are not cisgender white men. And if you are a cisgender white man, uphold your privilege and speak for those who don't have a voice. And that's all I would like to say. I hear and I am imploring you and I'm giving you my humanity. Open your hearts and open your emotions. We are all human no matter what. Water is life. And you cannot drink oil. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you!
I want to welcome you here to the heart of Empire. We're gathered here to stand in solidarity with the Oceti-Sakowin people and their fight at Standing Rock. We're here because the fight is not over. We're here gathered on Lenape land to say that that Native lives matter, that Black lives matter, that we're standing against white supremacy and resource extraction and the devastation of our Mother Earth. We're here to say we're going to keep fighting for the people who are experiencing environmental racism around the globe. We're here to say that we know this fight is not over, we know we have not lost, and that there are front lines everywhere in New York, at Standing Rock, on the territory of the Ramapo Lenape. The front lines are here. And I think in this moment, we need to remember that we all have the responsibility to do more than show up and hold signs. We need to hold space for Native voices. We need to hold standards of justice for people who are experiencing environmental racism. We need to be allowed to get uncomfortable, because fighting for liberation is majorly inconvenient. Okay, so we need to sit with that and say, what would we be willing to give up so that people can thrive? And so I'm here to tell you that the fight isn't over. I'm so glad to see so many people gathered here today and to be showing your support for Native sovereignty. This fight is going to continue, and the more people we gather together in coalition, the more successful we're going to be. The powers that be are afraid because we are powerful. And so I implore you to use that power. They're afraid of us because we are a real threat, because we've seen the alternatives, because we know at places like Standing Rock, alternatives to this destructive system of heteropatriarchal capitalism we have another option, and we've lived those options on our territories. And so if we can't all make it out to Standing Rock, do the work here, stand in solidarity with the people of color in this city, the people experiencing racism and injustice, and continue to fight to acknowledge and also support Native liberation. One more thing, one of the things that we can be doing right now is to divest from fossil fuels, to take your money out of the banks that are fueling and funding the Dakota Access Pipeline and a number of other pipelines and detrimental effects. So this is something you can do today. There are a number of tiny, they're in my pocket. We have these little zines going around, so get your hands on one of these. There's a divestment day in New York that's going to be March 18th. So if you go to the website on these little zines, they'll show you a checklist of things that you can do to personally divest from these banks on March 18th. Okay, so go there and make sure you're doing that personally. Also, we need to pressure the administration, the municipal administration in New York, to divest the city's money from the banks funding Dakota Access. Okay, so push your institutions to divest from fossil fuels. Push the city, the mayor wrote a letter to the banks. That's not enough. Okay, they have the power to pull their money out of this destructive system, to stop funding our destruction. So push your political representatives and continue to be making it out on the streets to support people. So thank you. Binashish.
Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Rey Zaragoza. I am a artist and activist of Native American descent, and I want to sing a song, a very short song, as an offering to our Lenape ancestors whose land we occupy right now. And if you don't know where you live, look up what land you are occupying, what Native ancestors' land you are occupying, because we all are, and we need to honor them, and we need to give offerings to them and acknowledge them in our blessings. So this is my song, In the River. I'm just going to sing it a cappella. I sang this song in negative 40 degrees at Standing Rock, and I'd like to acknowledge all of you who went to Standing Rock, who are on the front lines. And the front line is everywhere. The front line is right here. The front line is in California, where I live, where we're still out in the streets every single day. So I hope you guys are too. This is In the River. There's gotta be some hope. There's gotta be some hope. There's gotta be some way for you to send your dark blood and to leave the land alone. It's gotta be a crime. Mother protects us all. If you treat her with disrespect, then what message have you left for your children and their home? in the rivers, our sisters and our brothers. We are caring out for each other. We are stronger when we band together, and we're standing up for the water. Don't poison the future away. Thank you. Support all the indigenous tribes around the world. There's so many things. Save Oak Flat. There are so many things. Please get involved, keep showing up, and keep spreading the word. Thank you. Oh.
All right, how's everyone doing today? All right. Whether it's the top of Mauna Kea, whether it's Oak Flat, Ramapo, Standing Rock, we have to stand strong and stand firm together. We have to divest. That's the most important thing. We've got to pull our money out of these banks that are investing in these pipelines. That's what we have to do. The most important thing that we need to do. I want to let you know that I spoke to Chief Perry, who's the chief of the Ramapo, this morning. He's sorry he couldn't be here, but he wanted me to make sure that we that you went on their Facebook page. It's Split Rock, and you can look them up on Split Rock or Sweetwater. It's Sweetwater or Split Rock. So you can look them up and you can find out different ways that you can go support the Ramapo camp, which is fighting the AIM pipeline and the Pilgrim pipeline. So the struggle still continues. We're still with our brothers and sisters out in Standing Rock. I want to thank all of you for being here today. And this is really important that we're still standing up. The struggle is not over. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Heather Graham. I'm the one that organized the event page for this wonderful event. I would first like to start by thanking all of the Indigenous activists who brought this issue to light and who have been at Standing Rock protesting. And I would like to thank everyone here for showing up today and protesting this issue. And just the main thing that I think everyone should walk away with is that marching to bring attention is so important, and then afterwards we need to make sure we do everything we can to change this issue and to stop construction through the sacred lands and Standing Rock. I think that petitioning to stop this is the best thing we can possibly do. So just do everything you can and take away from this march all of the inspiration you've gotten from today to change this issue. All right, thank you so much.
What do you want? Justice! When do you want it?
Now!
What do you want?
Justice!
When do you want it?
Now!
And so do we. I'm Maria. I'm an organizer with the Alliance for Quality Education. And today, thousands of parents and students and teachers came out to defend public education. And today we stand here in solidarity with you. Today is a powerful day for movement and action to drive unaccountable governments, federal, state, and local, to listen to the people. Today, education activists and activists for Indigenous people's rights stand in solidarity with each other to demand justice. Thousands of people marched to end the attack on public education and the attack on sacred water. We marched to end the attack on the Indigenous people. And we stand here today to say thank you for coming out and fighting against this injustice, and to say that together we resist all forms of oppression. forms of hatred against our communities, including the attack on education and the attack on sacred lands and water. Thank you.
Hi guys, I was actually just asked to speak, so sorry if this is a little all over the place. First of all, can I hear my indigenous and native brothers and sisters right now? Where are you? Can I hear you? All right, yes, that's what I'm here for today. I'm here today to kind of bring awareness to the fact that we need our own voice. We've had our own voice. We have a strong voice. We have a beautiful voice. We have so many things to say. Our communities have so many struggles that they need to share. They have so many stories that they need to tell, and we need to give our voice our own chance of being heard. We need people to understand that you can't speak for us. That's how we got into this mess. And for us to sit here and be indigenous people on this land, it takes a lot. And I honestly salute every single one of you for coming out every single day and being the indigenous, native, wonderful person that you are. Secondly, I would just like to also point out the fact that we need to be really hyper aware of I need our allies to be extremely hyper aware of their situation as allies. Because indigenous people, like I was saying, have faced a lot of struggles in terms of representation, in terms of having our voices stolen, our voices changed and heard differently than the way we speak it throughout history. So if everyone that considers themselves an ally to the indigenous community could really make that part of the front part of the foremost part of their brain to respect indigenous sovereignty, whether it's our own representation, our own movements, our own land, that would be something that I think needs to happen within this movement. I thank you all for coming out today to support this wonderful little rally that we have going on here, but I really need you guys to understand the fact that we are here as indigenous people, and we need allies, but we need allies who listen to us. We need our allies to understand where we're coming from and to hear us out and to listen to what we're saying and respect our ways. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a great crowd. And I want to thank you first to everyone who worked so hard to make it happen, especially I'd like to speak to a lot of the students today, because they're the ones that are leading this forward here in the city, too. As all of you know, there's been a tremendous struggle at Standing Rock in North Dakota at the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, which is part of the Osheti-Shakowee, the Great Sioux Nation, to defend its waters and the lives of all the generations to come. Youth began that fight, and women and trans Two-Spirit sisters have been in the leadership all the way. In this fight against the Dakota Access Pipeline, Native people have taken the leadership in the environmental struggle worldwide, the struggle that we're now in to save life on our planet. As students, I'm speaking to the youth here, you may have learned that treaty rights are part of the Constitution. This is the law of the land under the Fourth Amendment. And the waters that we're talking about at Lake Oahe, these reservation waters are treaty rights too by Supreme Court ruling. These rights have been, as you know, abused and brutalized ever since the beginning of this country as part of the ongoing genocidal Indian wars known as Manifest Destiny. From the beginning, they've sought to erase Native nations from existence. But this fight isn't over. Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and the Cheyenne River have said they're not going to stop until the pipelines are shut down and removed for good. All of us here know water is life. From Flint, Michigan to Standing Rock to Palestine. Donald Trump, he backs big oil, but I'm going to say right now, and it's going to be in your lifetimes, young people here today, we're going to bury big oil in your lifetimes. And I'd like to say also, the Workers' World Party, we support sovereignty and self-determination of all the Native nations. We say save Mother Earth from corporate ruination and death. We need to end capitalism. This is killing us. No more corporate control. Water is life. And we're for money for education, clean air, clean water, not for pipelines and war. I'm a long-time Indigenous activist with Worker World Party. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. My name is Kandia. I'm an Indigenous activist and a singer-songwriter for the band Cactus Rose. I normally don't speak. I usually just do the organizing, but I am here with a contingent of Native elders who don't like to be on the mic either. I just wanted people to recognize that there are Native Americans of African descent, and we have heeded the call, and we are paying attention to this cause. We are also participating and contributing, even though there are, political factors that want to erase our presence. Through my cousins, I am affiliated with the Sweetwater Split Rock Prayer Camp. So I also want to encourage people to come out and join the fight. The pipelines that are here, we're going through where my home nation is in Virginia, and all through the East. There's been not enough recognition of the nations in the East that this is a fight that affects us too, that we're disproportionately affected by environmental racism. So I just wanted to say that. And the last thing, I spent most of last year singing benefits for the water protectors. So since I see so many musicians here, I just want to remind you this is a thing that we can do, use our power of song to help people and bring everybody in the circle closer together. That's something we can make that sacrifice with our music to keep doing it. Not been getting paid, and not asking for glory, but it's wonderful. Thanks, it's so wonderful to see you all.
Wait, Annabelle. I can't feel his head. Oh, wait. Tickle. Okay, so...
With everything said, it's our job to fight this oppression. It's time to march for the rights of the indigenous.
Continue.
Say more. Okay, put that in front of the microphone so we can
Yes. Amplify. Speak. Horace, say a few words.
Got it. That's my sister.
Greetings. I'm Sarah Flounders from People's Power and from Workers World. And just to describe a little bit of what we're going to do today between this rally and the march to Trump Tower. And we're also going by some of the banks that are responsible for this criminal policy of endless profits to destroy Mother Earth, destroy our lives and our future. Every one of us here today are here because our indigenous sisters and brothers stood together, stood strong through months and months in freezing weather, in terrible conditions, in blazing hot, in confrontations to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline and have raised an awareness across the country. All of this land is stolen land, built by stolen and enslaved people. And we need to recognize that theft of land and people and stand in solidarity with the struggles of our indigenous sisters and brothers and all oppressed people who are the targets of capitalist profit, of the forces like Trump and like the banks. And when we stand together in solidarity and in recognition of the struggles of the indigenous people and all the oppressed people, then we are so much stronger. Today, it's our unity that makes a difference. I just want to say also, next week, next Saturday, there's going to be a march for International Working Women's Day. Women are coming together. That's at Herald Square, just to invite everyone to participate. This Wednesday, there's a women's shutdown taking place. Urge the women to support that, and men to support it too. This is a kind of solidarity. We know there's going to be a big march against white supremacy and racism on April 1st. That's Saturday, April 1st. Organized by People's Power. And we want to also recognize that across the country and around the world, on May Day, Monday, May Day, there is going to be a global shutdown, walkout, stay away, general strikes, everything it takes for people to stand together. This is a time of enormous resistance, but it is resistance that has been sparked by our indigenous sisters and brothers at Standing Rock. So when we say we stand with Standing Rock, we are standing for struggle, for resistance. This is a way that we're going to both push Trump back, but demand rights for all people. Thank you.
Okay, so as we move to the march here, I just want to say that the reason we're all here, all of our gratitude and our love goes out to the people at Standing Rock and the people who've been facing the genocidal impulses of this nation for the past 500 years. And so for all those people, we say thank you for standing your ground. Thank you for protecting the land and water. Thank you to all of the water protectors. We see you, we hear your voices. We're here to say we support you and we're standing with you and with all Indigenous people. So I want us to start a chant and then we're going to start moving north. Okay, so street by street, block by block, we stand with Standing Rock. Street by street, block by block, we stand with Standing Rock. Street by street, block by block, we stand with Standing Rock.
Standing Rock, street by street. We stand with 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 Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. Block by block. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. 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 We street. We stand with Standing Rock, street by 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 street. We stand with Standing Rock. We stand with Standing Rock, street by street. 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 We stand with Standing Rock, street by street.
We stand with Standing Rock.
Street by street. We stand with Standing Rock, 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 street by street. All right. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now! And if we don't get it, 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 what do we want? When do we want it? Now! What do we want? When do we democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Shout Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Now tell Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Now show Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show Donald Trump what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Oh, sorry. Hey, at least we're feeling warm right now. It's 29.
Hey, listen. Over there I was freezing. I was like, oh, the gloves are defective. I was saying, the gloves are not defective.
I can't wear those. I can't wear them. They bother me. And my hands are too small. I can wear I can't wear women's gloves because they're too big.
I wear children's fingerless gloves.
And I can wear boys' gloves because they're like tad too small. So it's like,
They are a little too tight.
hey.
Donald Trump has got to go, okay, hey?
Watch it, guys.
Yeah, careful. I don't know, I don't think any of them want to take the subway. They're lazy like 10 blocks back. Okay, we're going to change that one.
City by city! We stand, we're standing up! 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 City by city!
Block by block, we stand, we're standing rock. City by city, block by block, we stand, we're standing rock.
City by city!
Block by block,
We stand, we're standing up! City by city!
block by block,
We stand,
we're standing rock.
City by city!
Block by block,
We stand, we're
So we're almost at Trump Tower right now, and my phone is actually kind of getting low now, so I am going to sign off. And if anything actually picks up, I will try to get back on, but I'm going to let it charge a little bit. As you can tell, I am losing my voice already. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon.
No, let's not say for name, right? Oh, what?